Hey everyone, welcome back to Fred's Garage. Thanks for coming. On today's episode, we hooked up with our partners at Hooke Road, and we're going to put a half rack on the back of our hardtop. We did a half rack because I still want to take the panels off and not have to deal with it. It'll give the Bronco so much more storage. You can use the rack for all kinds of things. So you can go from this, ready, to this. Stick around, and I'll show you how easy it is to get that done. We'll be right back. It comes in a pretty small box. It's pretty amazing you can get that whole roof rack in this box. But let's get our trusty razor knife, open her up, and see what comes. One, we have a really nice set of directions with a QRS code, so you can go on there and look at it step by step. We have the 1, 2, 3, 4 mounting points that mount into these slots right here. I got a big old bag of bolts, big bag of washers, and these little C nuts that go inside the rails. And then we have all the rails. So let me take it all out and we'll talk about it. All right, so we got everything out of the box. And the first thing I got to tell you is that I want you to see how nice this powder coating is. I'm going to bring you in close. It's really nice, thick. It's on both sides. These guys, Hooke Road, do a nice job with this powder coating. I have it on the bumper. It's perfect. Now, I know for a lot of people, this might look intimidating. It might look like a lot of parts and a lot of screws, and you're not sure you really want to deal with it. But I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to post the directions. We're going to do it step by step together, and we're going to make it as easy as possible. Okay? First thing I got to tell you is these 4 mounting brackets, they're all different. Okay, there's one for each 4 on the hard top, and every one of them is different. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these aside for now, and then we'll spend some time talking about these so you get the right mounting bracket at the right location. Another thing I suggest you do is this. Come in here, I'll show you. Grab yourself a little tray and put all the screws organized as in this diagram right next to it. So this way here you know exactly what screw goes where, and it's nice and easy. All right, so what are you going to need for tools? Not much. You're going to need a 4 and a 6mm Allen wrench. That's it. All right, step 1. You're going to locate this C channel, okay? It's the only one. It's called the C channel. And we're going to locate the front, basically the front wind deflector, okay? So these are the 2 parts we're going to need right now. Let me move everything else, and we'll focus on those. Now, if you see on these C channels, you're going to have the grooves on every side, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our 8 encased nuts, and they're going to fit inside these grooves. Now, let me show you something about the nut. See how it has these little notches on the side? See how it has these little notches on the side right here? Those little notches are going to fit up inside the channel. So you see how it fits in there? And you're going to push them in. We're going to put all 8 of them on one side of this channel. 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom. We're going to add our top piece, our wind deflector piece right on top. And we're going to use 8 of the smallest bolts and washers. They're called the M6. You'll see them. There's 8 of these little ones. And we're going to feed 1 into each hole, into each nut, okay? So let's get that done real quick. All right, so we have it connected. Okay, the C channel to the front wind deflector. Okay, all 8 bolts are tight. Now we can put this aside and we can go to step 2. Boom, here it is. We'll leave it up while we work on this. Step 2 is we're going to need the 3 crossbars and the 2 side channels. Okay, so let's grab all that and go from there. All right, so we have our 2 side panels. Okay, these are the 2 side supports. And we have our 3 cross rails. Okay, we're going to bolt these to the side supports. What you need to remember, and what is very important, is you want these slots to be facing up, okay? Because that's where in the future you're going to be adding your bolts to hold things down, okay? So you need the slots facing up. And we're going to connect them to these slots on the top of these rails, okay? 2, 4, 6. So what we're going to use to connect that is the M816 with a washer. So we're going to put a washer. We're going to feed it through this slot. And we're going to connect our upper rail, like so. So let's hook all 3 of them up, and we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, so this is what we should end up with when we're all done. Slots facing up, side profile like that. Looks good. Let's go to the next step. Bam. We're going to install the front that we used. We're going to use these 4 M8 bolts. They're smaller bolts, finer thread. We're going to use the 4 washers that come with it. And we're going to use the 4 locking nuts on the inside, okay? And when you install that front piece, you want to have it as high as you can so it doesn't touch the roof, okay? You want to make sure you push it up. So, alrighty, so here's the front piece we built earlier. You notice it has the curve. The curve's going to go on the bottom, but we want to make sure we push it up as high as we can. We want to keep it as high as we can so this part does not touch the roof, okay? So we're going to put it down here. So we're going to bolt it in, and we're going to keep it as high as we can up, okay? Let's do that, and we'll be right back. All right, so we get the front on. We used our 4mm Allen wrench, and I actually used the number 10 wrench to help hold the nut. So now we're almost there. We got to add our rear support bar. The rear support bar is the one that says Hooke Road. It's going to go right in here. And we're going to bolt it on right there. And what we're going to use to bolt it are these. By this time, you're going to have 2 sets of bolts left. They're the same size, just one's about 1 inch long, one's about a 1/2 inch long. So we're going to use the smaller bolt, a washer, and then on the inside, we're going to use one of these nuts, okay? We're going to need 4 for each side, and we're going to bolt them right there. Let's get that done, and we'll be right back. Okay, the rack is finished. We had to use our 6 Allen wrench, and I had to use a 13 to hold the bolts on the inside. But the top part of the rack is all done. And this is what you should end up with, right? Right there. I feel like I'm in a prison. Never been to a prison. I just feel that way. So anyways, let's set this aside, and let's talk about the brackets to the hard top, okay? Because there's 4 brackets, and every bracket's different. Okay, bracket time. So it's kind of tricky on these brackets. So I'm going to put this picture up here, and we're going to keep it here so you can look what I'm talking about. So I put a little piece of tape here, and this says passenger front. And if you look at the passenger front, it has 2 notches, just like in the picture, in the middle. Passenger front. Passenger rear. Okay? Passenger rear has 2 notches all the way to the ends. Passenger rear. Driver's rear. Driver's rear has 1 notch on opposite sides. Driver's rear. Driver's front. Driver's front has 1 notch in the middle. Driver's front. Okay? So we're going to hook this onto the rack loosely, and then we're going to carefully place the rack on the truck. Now, how these brackets go is, if you look, there's a padded piece here. It's kind of like a rubber. So it's soft and protects your top, so you don't have to worry about your top scratching, okay? And there's one on this side here. So these 2 are going to bolt like so inside the rack, and then when you tighten them, they'll be on the rack of the Bronco, okay? But we're going to put them in loose, so when we get them in there, we'll tighten them up. All right, let's do that, and then we'll go to the next step, which is tossing it on the Bronco. Okay, so this is what we're going to end up with, and this is what you want. All 4 brackets are on, and they're all on extremely loose, okay, and all in the right order. Now, this is where you need some help. If you have help, get somebody to help you throw it on there, toss it on there, because you don't want to take any chances of hitting your glass or scratching your top, okay? I'm going to toss it on there, and then we're going to see what it looks like and check it all out, okay? But before I do that, let me bring you in real close so you can take a good look at what it looks like. All right, there she is assembled. Remember, those slots are on the top. It says Hooke Road right in the back there. Looks good. Powder coating is beautiful. And then there's the front. And if you ever wanted to, you could probably put a light bar right there if you needed to. And that's the whole top. So now let's toss it on the Bronco and see what she looks like. Hey guys, we did it. She fits perfect. So now we're going to go around, tighten all 4 of these brackets, okay? We're going to use our 6mm Allen wrench and our 13mm regular wrench. And we're going to make sure that every one of these are inside the slot. So when we tighten it, it'll clamp onto the top of the roof rail, okay? So let me get that done. All right, we're all done. What do you think? It looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Fits up there perfect. Got the cooler up there. Now we're ready to go to the beach, huh? So we're going to do the most important test, okay? We're going to see if it fits in a standard size garage. This is a Sasquatch Bronco with the factory tires. Factory lift from a Sasquatch. Let's see if we can make it into the garage. Cross your fingers. Hopefully everything will work out fine. All right, guys. This is the moment of truth. What do you think? Will it fit in the garage? Keep your fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. So what do you think, guys? It made it. Hey, I might look like a dummy, but I'm not a dummy. I measured it first. I knew it was going to fit. That's a beautiful rack. So when you get a sec, check out my friends at Hooke Road, okay? They make beautiful racks like this. They have full racks, bumpers, everything. And don't forget the beautiful rear bumper. If you're looking for a bumper with a built-in light and a built-in license plate holder, Hooke Road's got you covered, okay? So, hey, I hope you guys like this video. Stay tuned. There's plenty more to come. Please subscribe. Give me the thumbs up. Hit the notification button. And you guys have a great day. Take care.